Hello Taurus, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we are going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Taurus for the month of February. Now Taurus, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now Taurus, I do not offer personal readings, so if you get a message from someone, that is not me, that's somebody impersonating me. Please do keep that in mind. Please do not get scammed. I also do exclusive content on my Instagram, so if you'd like to get to know me more, you can give me a follow there. But let's see what we have here for you, Taurus. Now, if this message resonates, please do consider hitting that like button. It really helps my channel grow in a big way, and please do hit the subscribe if you watch my content regularly, or even if this is just the first time you are viewing me. So, for some reason, I knew this Tower card wanted to pop out when I was shuffling. So, for some reason, I knew that would come in, but nothing to fear. One card never makes a reading, and you have a bunch of very positive cards here. So, we'll talk about the Tower as we go along, and I don't think it's anything to fear. But at any rate, let's go ahead and see what's on the bottom. And energy on the bottom is the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords talks about an ending in your life, okay? So there's no doubt that something is coming to a closure here for you with the Tower, with the Ten of Swords. And this could be something that you've spent a large portion of your life or a lot of energy doing. And I'll get into why I feel that way as we go along. But there may be just something that comes in here that shakes your path, shakes you along your path, shakes something up in your life here with this Ten of Swords. It's really something that's completely done, dead, over with. Okay, there's no going back. It's an inexorable ending when you get the Ten of Swords. But what it does is it provides you with an opportunity to release yourself from what no longer serves you, or for what is no longer in alignment with you and your path and your purpose. It also says that the worst is potentially behind you and that there is new hope on the horizon. And so there are good ways of looking at the Ten of Swords. It's just, it is an ending and it is a change, and change is challenging. Change is hard in this lifetime. And yeah, it's almost this energy of like, if you can stick to something, you're going to come out on the other side of that change much better, much stronger, much bigger, almost like a stronger person. And so that's kind of what I'm feeling here. Now, right away in the middle, you have the Eight of Wands. So this Eight of Wands is a quick moving event that brings about good news. It's a very, very good card. I love this energy. It's the feeling of getting unstuck. And I can't help but say this. I'm more than halfway through these readings. Every single reading, there has been this energy of something. The energy begins to pick up in February after like somewhere around the middle to the end of the month. And you are no different here. There is something here where it's like you are getting unstuck here in the middle of the month in some ways. Now, the Eight of Wands can also say that there's communication coming in from a distance, text messages, phone calls, emails, letters, anything like that. It's the good news part is the very important part. It can also represent like long distance travel, long distance communication, long distance dating or relationships, travel, anything like that going on here. So definitely a very good card. And I think things, like I said, I need to really hammer this point down. There's a change coming, but I also think that things are going to pick up here for you pretty quickly. So in the first part of the month here, you have the Nine of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. So this is really interesting because the Page of Swords in some ways is like the opposite of the Eight of Wands. While the Eight of Wands is moving quickly, right, in a new direction, swift action, swift changes, swift communication, the Page of Swords represents potentially news of delay, disappointing news, or time delays, something that's potentially annoying you or not going as fast as you had hoped. So again, in the beginning of this month, it's almost like there may be a curveball here thrown in the middle and potentially towards the end of this month. But at the same time, I do get the sense that there's probably a deeper divine reason for why this is happening. And so just know that there is this card of delays coming in. You have this Page of Pentacles here as well. Anytime you get 2 pages, for me, that always means that it's a communicative month, or it's a communicative time. There are going to be a lot of different people that come in. You're going to get a lot of different news. You might even have new offers that come in, because the Page of Pentacles can represent your prospects looking good. Okay, and so this is a bit of it's not a straight and narrow message. Okay, this is a convoluted message so far. This is a little complicated, and that's how these readings sometimes are. But on one hand we have delays, on the other hand we have this situation where prospects are looking good, and along with that you have this energy here on with the Nine of Pentacles of financial independence, abundance, good things happening in your life. In fact, this is one of my favorite abundance cards, because this person has built something here. They have grown something here that is providing them with pentacles, with fruit, with everything that they need to sustain themselves and sustain life. But the important part is they don't need to rely on anybody now that they have this product that they built, or this bush, or this thing that they've built. They have this now, and they don't need to rely on other people. It can also represent maybe enjoying the luxuries of life a little bit here. And enjoying what you've built, enjoying what you've worked for. So if I'm putting this all together, it could mean that you get disappointing news in one area of life, but then you also get very good news here in another area of life. Because if I were to combine the Page of Pentacles with the Eight of Wands, that would be just a signal of good news generally coming into your life, and quickly. And so it could mean that one thing's going on, and then you also have another thing. So yeah, that could be what's happening here. Now, in the middle of the month, you have the Hierophant, the Eight of Wands, and the Six of Cups here. So what's interesting is the Hierophant is your card. This is the Taurus card. And so you are in full view here in the middle of the month. Okay, you are putting yourself and your needs first here, and something is coming to you here in this middle of the month very quickly. I also think that for some of you, what's going on here is, as you have this Six of Cups as well, remember in the beginning where I said there's an ending and it's around something that you've done for a long time. It's because of the Six of Cups here, which is potentially something you've been doing, or something you've always wanted to do for a long time. And I get the sense that, this can represent someone coming in from the past. Like, this could be a friend, a family member, an ex-lover, or something like that. They're coming back around. And you're probably finishing that. You're probably closing that cycle out with that person here. And it's your choice, is what I feel like saying with the Hierophant. And I think this is going to affect you in a pretty big way. And I don't mean that negatively, but I think sometimes when we cut people out of our lives, it opens another door for other people to enter, and people who are maybe more in alignment with us. And so this is what I'm saying, where the focus is on you here in this middle of the month pretty quickly and pretty heavily here. The Hierophant can also represent your organization or the place that you work for. And there could be situations developing in that area as well. But let's continue forward here. Now, in the back half of the month, or the last part of February, you have the Queen of Cups, the Tower, and the Knight of Cups. So I talked about this Tower here. It was coming out when I was shuffling, and now it's coming out here again. And this Tower card is an upheaval, okay? It can be like an abrupt change in your life that puts you down a new path. And a lot of people are afraid of the Tower, but you really shouldn't be afraid of any of these cards, especially because you have mostly very, very good cards here. And so one card never makes a reading, but also because ultimately the Tower is a blessing in disguise. And the reason being is, if you're living in a house of cards, which the Tower is representing a house of cards, then it's best to get out of that situation anyway, because nobody wants to live in a house of cards, right? Nobody wants to actually do that. And so if anything, this is a blessing in disguise happening quickly for you here in February at some point. This could also represent a revelation or something shocking that comes in around a relationship here with the Knight of Cups, indicating that someone out of the blue comes in and says, hey, I'm interested in you. I don't think there's a breakup energy here. Instead, what I feel like is someone's coming in here with the Knight of Cups, and it may catch you by surprise. Lastly, you have this Queen of Cups here, which represents having compassion for yourself, maybe a trusted friend or ally. There could be a friend that's either entering or exiting your life. I think it'll depend on the situation that you find yourself in. But let's go ahead and see what else we have going on here. If you're enjoying this, hit that like button, subscribe, and you can check out my website if you're interested in signing up for my email list. There's a link to that in the description below. All right, let's see what we have here for you, Taurus. All right. So you have Shapeshifter, Transform, and Unveil your gifts. You also here have Fire Guardian, very nice. Ignite your passion, I like that energy. Very nice. Magic Guardian, Unlock the magic within. And then Stag, Trust and Thrive. Stag energy, I'm getting this energy of spring or summer energy, something like that. I really like this Magic Guardian. It hasn't been coming in for many people. But unlocking the magic within. Yeah, what else is there to say? There could be something here around, there could be, it's almost like there's like an upheaval or a change or a shocking message being delivered or something like that here with the Eight of Wands and the Tower that may, you know, set you down a new path. Okay, but let's see what that may be. Let's pull some additional messages here, see what else we get. Okay. So you have no and no need to worry. Could be a rejection in one area. But again, whatever's ending here, and by the way, this could be you rejecting someone or someone you used to know. And again, this is trusting. Okay, trust and thrive here at this time because there's a higher divine purpose for this. You also here have if you believe and peaceful resolution. So look, it could mean that, yeah, there's maybe a rejection happening, but there's like again, there's a reason why this is happening, especially with the as you believe card or if you believe card here. You know, trusting here at this time. What else is there to say? I really like that energy of no need to worry, especially as you have the Tower in the future. I'm not stressed about that Tower for you. I will tell you that much. So let's see what else we have here. Let's see what else wants to come forward. All right. You have the Five of Cups, you have the Devil, and the Moon. Okay, so the Moon can represent something that is not as it appears. The Devil can represent a shadow or something that we're working through. It could also represent issues around possession and control. Control issues, power struggles. Addiction. It can represent hedonist tendencies, anything like that. And I do get that patience maybe is also necessary because with that Page of Swords and the Devil, your mind may go to a challenging place as you deal with a delay or you deal with disappointing news. And just understand as you have this Moon card, while it can represent that something is not as it appears, it can also represent that something is temporary. And so do not let your mind here with this Devil and this Page of Swords go to a negative place because whatever's happening could just simply come in and out, if that makes any sense. So this is a challenging reading, I have to be real. You know, it's not terrible. It's challenging in that it's convoluted. Okay, it's a convoluted message here. There are a lot of different things coming forward. You have this Five of Cups as well, which is all about somebody who's standing in disappointment and maybe thinking about the cups of the past. And instead of doing that, what they could be doing is thinking about how there are always two or more cups behind them overflowing, right? And it really tells you to look on the bright side of life. Let's see what else we have here. You have the King of Swords, the Empress, and the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so the Empress is total abundance here. Again, we're just getting these messages. But again, something picking up here towards the middle to the back half of the month here. The Empress, total abundance, but it's also nurturing yourself, nurturing a part of your path, especially when you get it combined with the Queen of Cups. It is Venus energy, which is the planet of romance and beauty, but it's also the planet of luxury and wealth. It's fertility, prosperity, all of these sorts of things. And when you get that combined with the Eight of Wands, could be news around those areas. Okay, could be news around those areas. Something being delivered here to you. as you get this Three of Pentacles and you have the King of Swords with the Hierophant, it could mean that there is a workplace situation involving teammates or teamwork here that's in focus for you. At this time, you may be having to deal with a teammate or a teamwork situation, because the King of Swords can represent your boss and the Hierophant can represent the place that you work. The Three of Pentacles can represent teammates or teamwork. And so something coming in here for review, it looks like it might be pretty good as well. You have the Seven of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands coming in once again. It's the star of the show here in this reading, this Eight of Wands. So yeah, pushing forward here, moving forward here quickly, gracefully, actually not pushing, but gracefully moving forward with that Eight of Wands energy. And I do feel like there could be communication from somebody who's interested in you from a distance with this Eight of Wands, Knight of Cups. And I do feel like this might shock you a little bit. Like I said, for some people, there's going to be a surprise encounter or a surprise situation here with another person. And they may, like I said, there's separation here between the two of you. The Nine of Pentacles here, which you had up here as well. Some of you are like maybe wrestling with your independence. Like I feel like some of you have attained independence, but now you're like also wondering if you should maybe try to date, or you should try to talk to people or meet people or something like that. Like some of you are looking at that situation, and it may be affecting this new connection that's coming in here. The Seven of Cups indicates that you have a lot of options available, a lot of options at hand, and the Hermit here is isolation. So there is independence and isolation potentially coming in here, and some of you are like maybe you're tired of being alone. And it could mean that somebody's coming in here for you at the end of the month or sometime in this month here. So let's see what else we have. I'm trying to keep this message kind of on point, but it's like, wow, it's just like all over the place. There's just so many different messages here. So you have marriage, wow, you have imprisonment, concern, poverty, gift, and despair. Yeah, you're ready to find a community of people. You're ready to socialize, you're ready to get out there, you're ready to meet people. You know, some of you might have recently been in a long-term situation. That's why maybe this Ten of Swords and the Six of Cups is coming in, where it's like you're ending that. Okay, it's the end of that situation. And I also feel like this is something that you've spent a lot of time thinking about. Like some of you are isolated here. And I get the sense that some of you are trying to figure out the best path to sort of work through that situation. So Taurus, thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. I appreciate you. Have a great day. I will see you in the next reading.